Your dad said he recalls, like, I think he was a junior in high school. He was deciding what elective to take, and one was like woodworking, another was something with copper, and then there was the acting one.
Yeah, there was like underwater basket weaving or acting, and I took the acting one. We were in the theater in Santa Barbara High School, and there were maybe 15 people in the class, 20 people in the class, and she said, we're going to do something called improvise. No idea, never heard of it. And she said, Josh, and it was the first one. I had no idea. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I was terrified of getting up on stage. It's a terror that's carried itself into now. You know, still a massive, massive fear that revolves around presenting myself.
Really?
Massive. Like debilitating for many, 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 many years. Not now. I've figured out ways to deal with it. But
and can I ask, what are the ways you've figured out how to deal with that now?
Well, I don't drink anymore, so that let it come out in ways that were psychotic. But relaxing, embracing, prep, visualizing, right-sizing people. Oh, they're going to judge me because they know and I don't know.
On that front, by the way, you said, going back to your early acting days, I was paralyzed with what I thought other people saw in me. A nothing, an invisible, worthless of a word.
Wow.
Describe that insecurity.
I mean, I remember doing an episode of Highway to Heaven with Michael Landon, right? I read for that. And it was after I did The Goon, it was after I did Thrash, and I went into a room, I read, it was before I went to Europe. I took off to Europe by myself. And that gave me the money to do it. And I went in and I read for him, and Paul Walker ended up playing, it was a 2-part episode, he ended up playing my younger brother. And I remember doing scenes during that, and my legs were shaking so bad that all the focus was not on what was happening in the scene. All the focus was how to get my legs to stop shaking. If I can make them so tight that they'll stop shaking. You know what I mean? So there's been some through line to that where I've gotten up and gotten nervous and my trachea closes up. And suddenly there's a different voice coming out. And now everybody knows. And then if I'm conscious that everybody knows, then it only compounds.
Right.
You know how it is.
Well, so I want to take you to a moment after Europe. You're in Rochester, New York, with your longtime best friend, Anthony. It's opening night of your first play, Forgiving Typhoid Mary. Take me to the moment you forgot everything and take it from there.
Every actor has a nightmare. They have several nightmares. It's the worst things that can happen to you. All of them have happened to me. They don't happen to actors. They're nightmares for a reason. They're a projection of like, oh my God, if that were to happen, and then you do everything to assure that that won't happen. All those have happened.
And those are what?
Those are, you know, I'm gonna go up on stage, everybody's gonna know I'm a fraud, whatever it is, you know. So first professional play, I'm playing this Irish priest. I had these big fat monologues that set up the whole play. It's opening night, and here comes Josh speaking in the worst, I'm sure, Irish accent, you know, Mary Fitzgerald's for part of the and I'm doing this thing, and I look down, I take off my glasses, I do some cliche thing where I take my cassock and I clean my glasses, and I look up, and it's gone. I mean, it's gone. And now I would be able to improvise through it. I'd be like, it doesn't have the meaning and the weight to me that it did then, because it's my first professional play. I'm young. Anthony is the one who said, don't try to go do a movie between the series that we're doing together. Come and, you know, develop yourself as an actor. Be a character actor. Don't be one of those people. Okay.
Anthony did say you were trying to improvise through it. He just said you were saying
I was gobbledygook, man. I was saying whatever I was saying, and I just saw the arrow continuing to go away from me, get smaller and smaller and smaller with all the dialogue that I needed. And I said something, and I know Anthony, he says this today, he reached over to his partner, his assistant at the time, and said, we have a playwright on our hands. You know, because I don't know what I was saying. It was probably. But then I left. I didn't know what else to say.
Just walk off stage.
I just walked off stage, and they had gone totally manual, and I walked off stage, and the light stayed on, and then finally the light disappeared. And I went backstage, and both stagehands had their head in their hands. That's not what you want to see when you walk off stage. And I said, I'm out of here. Like, I was ready to walk out the exit door. I remember seeing the exit right there. I can see it right now. And Anthony, luckily, got out of his seat and came back around and said, nobody knows. And I said, that's bull. Everybody knows. I saw their heads cock. I saw it.
He got you to go.
He did. He got
out.
me to go out. And then and then I did another monologue, which went fine. And then I did some scenes. And then I did a third monologue where I went out on the other side of the stage. And I came out and I said the last line first. So it happened again. But I was able to edit in my head and explain what I had just said, which was, you know, anyway, man. I don't know if I do that to myself, or if I did that to myself then, or if that was just an inability, or I don't know. I don't know. It's just the way it went.